up, yo? It's me, your boy, Hitman Gold, and I enjoy. I was so bad. Hello, and welcome back to the UKLCs. We're kicking it off with our fourth game. I say kicking it off, we're now actually receiving the end of the ball as we are now done. We got one more game to go. Demise versus Barrage. This is going to be a really exciting one, actually, because there's a lot on the line here. Demise potentially looking for third, and Barrage looking to avoid relegation. Really, really solid stuff so far.
I feel like there's a lot on the line is a sentence that we've said a lot of times today. And I mean, it makes sense because every single game has had so much implications for the last week of standings.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that last game, we do actually have our MVP from the jungle. No surprises. It's the man, Noti.
Infinite. Oh.
Wrong one. This guy, the kill participation, the score, and the CS does not show. I wish we had a jungle proximity stat here to show how much time he spent in Infinity's jungle. He didn't clear his jungle for like the first 4 or 5 minutes. It was actually nuts. It was actually nuts.
Yeah, he left pretty much nothing for Infinity to take in the early stages. And I mean, it forced him to try and have some pressure in the lanes, which worked for a while. But in the end, they were just too far behind and weren't able to stand up to that disgusting poke composition with the Olaf and a Yuumi on top of it as well. So,
well, one of these teams behind us between Demise and Barrage have to now potentially deal with Noti's Olaf. If they can get the win here, it's all about getting the win here because we talked about the implications. We know what's on the line here. Barrage don't want relegation to Demise. They want third. I mean, they've had a stellar start to the UK scene so far. They have just walked in and they've just played incredibly. Like they've completely shattered expectations. I expected them to be kind of like a middle of the pack team, maybe kind of avoiding that relegation zone, kind of there where Envision currently are sitting. But no, they've been shooting straight for the top, and it's only up really for here. From here.
Yeah. I mean, they've made it to the Tower Finals, I believe, twice, and if they're able to do it again this week, that they're pretty much locking themselves in for that third place spot. And
Eminem they'd have to beat Eminem, which would lock them in
Eminem
third.
was the team that we were all kind of looking at the start of the split as, this is more than likely the third place game. It's a storied roster and organization, so they have a lot of history behind them, but these newcomers just come from nowhere and just absolutely train wreck through. The majority of the teams will ignore Excel and Fnatic because no one apart from each other is train wrecking each other.
That's
their own little story. But when it comes to all the other teams who are in a similar position in the standings, Demise have looked really good against the majority of them.
Yeah, Demise have looked very, very good. But a team who haven't been looking quite so hot is Barrage. They were able to beat out Diabolus, which was good for them. But
they got the point.
Diabolus were on a weaker form. Barrage have had a bit of a rough go so far. So let's have a little look at our rosters starting up on the blue side. It is our newbies here to the UK scene. It's Demise, Mapillion in the top lane, Hidden in the jungle, Zyko mid, then Vox in the ADC, and Vigo as support.
And looking to get themselves a second point is Barrage with Zergoth in the top lane, Monkeys in the jungle, D.Va in mid, Fax on AD carry, and Reclamation support.
Fax and Reclamation being the additions to the team as well. Haven't quite performed to what we wanted out of them as well, because we saw these two names and we were like, okay, these guys are actually a pretty seriously good bot lane, but haven't really shown up to that.
Try not to look at him.
It's just Orcs is dancing off screen. It doesn't matter, guys. This is something that happens regularly.
Man. Well,
you good?
I think
Orcs'
so.
dance got you that bad. Completely shattered you. Mate, if you're gonna be a regular here, you just gotta learn to roll with the punches with that guy.
I'm good. Barrage, as you said, they swapped out their bot lane. It's enough to turn that donut into a breadstick. They got the 1 point. They need more, though. They need more.
I want to Photoshop a donut on your finger and then a breadstick on your finger for that.
Do it.
So what is 2?
Well, I've run out of things, so they need another point. 2 breadsticks.
2 breadsticks. Can they get 2 breadsticks is the question.
Fish fingers?
Let's have a little look at our matchup to watch, which is Zyko versus D.Va. You're throwing me under a bloody bridge, mate. We have a little look at our mid laner matchup to watch here. These are pretty exciting kind of mid lanes, if you ask me. Zyko has definitely been performing past expectations. D.Va has definitely been on a losing team. But he's been doing pretty well as far as he can. It's very hard to kind of go, he's been smashing it. No, they've got 1 point. Let's be real. But D.Va has been a player who, even in their losses, has looked at least like he's able to do something. So, you know, it's going to be an interesting one to see how this mid lane matchup works here between D.Va and Zyko, because for me, I think Zyko is probably going to walk over this matchup.
Especially if we see the Zyko from last week with that Yasuo 1v3 highlight clip against Fnatic. If it's that guy that comes out, I think D.Va is definitely going to struggle, but consistency is key, and unfortunately Barrage have consistently fallen behind in a lot of their matchups, and they're really going to need to avoid that and against a team like Demise, who can pull out those wacky left field picks like Garen Yuumi in the bottom lane is something
How could we forget the Garen Yuumi?
People were expecting to see. So they need to just make sure that they don't get caught off by anything like that weird stuff happening in the draft, and just play to their own style and let Monkeys have some impact in the game, because when he has impact, that is where they've looked a little more successful.
When he steals Barons, that's the key thing for Monkeys. He's a player who has consistently done it, and that could be a condition for them. You don't really want to be in a position, though, where you have to worry about stealing a Baron. You just want to be able to take the Baron, but that turnaround is always there. And it was D.Va actually at his back when they went to steal the Baron last time as well on that Azir. So maybe, you never know. I do have my eyes on Monkeys and D.Va as far as Barrage go. But for Demise, it's this bot lane, man. There's so much kind of like fun and wacky picks they can pull out between them. And I want Garen Yuumi. I'm saying it now. I want Garen Yuumi.
We've had the Yuumi already. We haven't had the Garen, though. So, I mean, just one piece of the puzzle left to go. Put them together.
Well, that's what... Well, we've had the... Yeah, sorry.
Let's do that.
I thought you were... Yeah, don't worry. I was like... I thought you were saying we haven't had Yuumi at all this split. I was like, we literally had it in the last game.
Not quite.
Your donut. 0 points.
Breadstick.
Yeah, breadstick. We're at that point where, you know, like kids are sitting in the back of the car on a long journey, and they're like, pie. Just laughing. See, it's working.
Man, I'm terrible for this.
Oh, man.
I break down from the stupidest stuff.
Cool.
Take a breath.
Reset, mental reset. All good.
We're
all good to go. Hopefully,
good.
we'll be getting into picks and bans nice and soon.
Because this game isn't a joke, right? Like, this game
isn't breadstick in water.
It's no laughing matter, okay? Ignore this.
I don't know what breadstick and water is meant to mean.
Stop.
It's just like, it's not breadstick and water, guys. That's a soggy breadstick, and you don't want that. How you doing?
Barely holding on.
Holding on.
Yeah, just about.
A bit like Barrage, really, at this point. They need to get that win.
Man, they're submerging.
Please
from
get
the
the picks and bans. Thank you. All right.
Okay, game face.
Woo! That's an Azir. Banned away.
Correct.
I like that. D.Va, like I said, when he was at the back of Monkeys... Oh, there we go. Have a little look at D.Va's face once again. When he was at the back of Monkeys on that Baron still, he was playing that Azir. So deny him that pick. Now, what do they want to ban away in return? It's going to be the Karma ban here by Barrage. It's actually a fairly low win rate across the board in the UK, but it's still really potent and really horrible to play into. But they just don't want to deal with it. Doesn't matter about the win rate. It's just unfun to play into. So they take that away, followed up by a Yasuo and a Sona ban away.
Yeah, and one of the problems of Karma is, like, we talk about how important flex picks are. Karma's that triple flex, because you can go top or mid, which has been hit with some nerfs, mainly to the shield with the AP ratio as well as a little bit of base on it. But you can put it in support as well, and it can be just as irritating there. So definitely a good takeaway.
All right, Corki, Morgana are going to be the last two bans here, and Demise now looking to think about what they want to pick up. That Akali, the hovering is open, but also is the Relia. You decide to go straight into the Akali, and that is going to be an instant lock-in for Zergoff on the Aatrox, followed up by a very quick Xayah lock-in. Sorry, I had a complete brain fart on her name there. Now, I'd actually like to see a Rakan get picked up here for Demise. They actually get themselves the Aurelia. These are two massive power picks. They take away the Rakan. They also deny the Xayah Rakan, all in one horrible fell swoop of a first ban phase. Oh, sorry, pick phase for Demise.
Yeah, and this is the same sort of flexibility in the solo lanes that Enclave had in their matchup. The Akali or the Aurelia, both can go top, both can go mid. It's going to depend on where the matchups fall, whether this Aatrox will be in the top side, whether it'll be in mid, or what exactly the the lane formations will be.
I feel like you want the Aurelia into the Aatrox because you can easily break the chains using the minions just to taxi away. And if you do start to get into a bit of a dangerous position, your W does reduce some of that kind of damage you're going to be taking. It's going to be a Nautilus lock-in here for Barrage, picking themselves up something very aggressive. Now, they can look to ban away AD carries and deny Denvoxney, but Denvoxney doesn't just play AD carry, so he's quite hard to ban away.
That is true.
He could be one of those Akali's or Aurelias.
It could be. It could be like the Gragas Irelia or Sejuani in the bot lane. We've seen matched up with it before.
I doubt it.
Yasuo has been matched up with it more often than not, but
Yes.
that's been taken away. So that's not something that we have to worry about. I also like the fact that both Corki and Azir have been banned in the first round, so none of that boring meta stuff is what we're going to be seeing. It's all assassins for the side of Demise and engage potential with the Rakan. It's a little bit more standard for Barrage and a bit more of the front-to-back capabilities, having that big frontline presence of the Nautilus and that sustain drain tank almost of the Aatrox as well.
Well, that's going to be the Kai'Sa Lucian taken away, denying those 80 carries. Followed up by a Kiana and a Sylas ban. Only had one Kiana so far in the UK scene, which has been a little sad because I was quite excited to see her, but she is just, I think, really strong.
It's probably good because you lost the sheet with the ability names.
Supreme display of talent.
Perfect.
Edge of Ishtal? Is it Ishtal? I think it's
Something
Ishtal. I think it is like an S sound.
Okay, okay.
Ooh, okay. Going back onto Monkeys, actually. This is normally a pick that we see from him. Actually, one of his kind of top-performing junglers. Getting his hands onto that Gragas. Good win rate here in the UK scene as well. And now Demise looking to round out their comp. They're looking for an AD. They're looking for a jungler. What they're going to lock in, what they want to go for. It's going to be the Nunu hidden. This has been banned away from him so many times. 100% win rate in both games. He's managed to get his hands onto it. And man, Barrage have just given Demise everything they want in this picks and bans.
Yeah, it's really not that advisable when you're against a team like Demise is to let them have exactly what they want to play.
Do it.
They play weird stuff.
Do it. Oh, he's done it. What?
This is weird stuff. This is weird stuff.
Wait.
Hold on. Is it Irelia bot? Garen?
A Garen Rakan bot lane.
Okay. They've let that G2 tweet go to their head. The ego is tripping in. The OG Garen pick.
Yeah, take that, LEC.
Yeah.
Garen Yumi's not all that. It's all about the Rakan Garen.
Wow. With the Nunu jungle as well. And Willump.
I hope this play isn't poo. I really hope this is like a really good Garen.
Imagine if they just like...
I don't want to have favorites, right? But like when you're rocking a Garen bot lane without the Yumi, that is the most ballsy thing you can do. Oh man, I'm so excited. I am so goddamn excited for this game.
Really hope it isn't like Harden and this is just the push that Barrage needs to make that miracle run. And
I mean, in a way, it's like an awesome thing if it's like the like, I know there's a Nunu, but it's the snowball for Barrage that sets them off for like a good a good like gauntlet run and out of relegations. But also, if this is the game that Demise just go, no, Garen can be played with anything bot lane. Come at us. It doesn't have quite the safety, quite the healing that you do with the Yumi and, you know, the utility. But while the Yumi speeds you up, the Rakan just locks them down. They don't need to go run fast if they're stood in one place, if they're knocked up. So,
and the flip side of this is, what if Demise, with this Garen in the bot lane, just smash this game and Garen becomes unkillable anyway and 1v9s the team? Then maybe you think, maybe it's not Garen Yumi that's the problem. Maybe it's just Garen. So teams might start banning Garen, and then you free up a ban so you can play your Yasuo, Sejuani, Yasuo, Gragas bot lanes. It's super huge brain.
This is
coaching.
big IQ
I love
play
it.
here. Yeah,
I have no idea what's happening, but it's fun. Sure.
Like, how do we break this down? I had my theories. Like I said, it's instead of locking them down, that is a gorgeous face. What a manly face, Garen.
40k.
Look at him go. Yeah, same Space Marines are just so boring.
Yeah.
I'm a Tau man myself.
I had a Tyranid army once.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I don't know what's worse. I have a friend who's Tyranid, and he's always like, can we play, like, 3K lists? And I'm like, no. I don't want to play a 3K list into you. Sorry for anyone who doesn't play
Just
Warhammer.
a board full of counterfix. Love
It's
it.
awful. Look at him go. What a dude. By the way, Diva picked Lissandra. We didn't talk about that. Pretty standard pickup into the likes of an Akali or an Aurelia with the Aftershock. You can kind of proc it, so you can be nice and safe. And instead, they actually send Mapillion top lane on the Akali, and they send Zyko mid on the Aurelia.
Should we mention the fact that Demise has 5 melee champions, so taking towers is going to be a pain for them if there's anyone around to defend, especially a Lissandra. Notoriously difficult to tower dive. You definitely don't want to be getting involved in any of that. You have a Xayah as well, who's relatively safe. Gragas with a lot of displacement. If there isn't already a couple of picks taken down previously, sieging is not really an option for this Demise squad.
No, it's going to be all about the dominant lanes and the explosive team fights. But if Barrage do play into that, I do worry how they will fare. They obviously do have a fair amount of disengage and stuff like that, but Zyko already starts out solid versus D.Va, but will take a lot of damage from the minions autos and D.Va's autos on the tail end of that fight. Does make it a little bit harder now. Denvoxney makes his way down into that bot lane. Has gone for the Targons. Pretty standard start there on the Garen. What we're used to seeing is D.Va actually jumps onto Zyko, gets himself the flower shot. That's going to be the cleanse and the triumph. Not enough to heal him up. Zyko. Aggressive play, aggressive start, but D.Va does have teleport. Was able to get himself a kill in return, so he should pick up this wave and actually might come out better for this.
Yeah, it's the first blood for Zyko, and he took the cleanse as well, so didn't have the ignite for that extra burst of damage. That was just insanity on that tower dive. Lost his mind almost as much as we had in the pre-game segment, but D.Va, with the teleport straight back into lane, is going to lose the absolute minimum. Gets a chance to freeze the lane, no pun intended, Lissandra and all that. Oh, I saw it. But it's not too bad.
It's a featured matchup. With a claw, actually gets caught out. Zyko doesn't want to go for the fight here as he knows, but Monk is getting caught out by him. One more rally of snowballs would have been enough to lock Monk down and potentially spell his doom. Maybe in hindsight, Zyko should have taken that trade into D.Va.
All of our featured matchups today have just really been exciting, and they've really delivered.
Bar our first one.
Okay, well, that's an Excel game, so I suppose you could excuse it.
D.Va looks to jump in. The Claw of Diamond is actually dodged out by Zyko as he uses the Blade Surge onto the minions. Beyblade is going to be used by Denvoxney. Just to clear out a few minions and stay okay, but that passive is really annoying to play into when you're Faction Reclamation because they get the trade-off, and he's already quite healthy. He's got the Targons coming up soon as well, so he'll have some extra healing there. He's got the Gleaming Quill to heal him up. It's hard to poke this lane out. You have to win in the all-in, and I think at the moment they don't actually have the ability to find that all-in power. Mapillion takes a fight versus Zergoff, but Zergoff will take the worst for wear of that trade. That's going to be the route onto Denvox, and he just gets the speed up and the Q away. Monk is now stepping forward. It's just going to help them push this wave in for Barrage.
A little bit of pressure coming out from Gragas in the early stages, which is what we want to see. I kind of want to see him put a little bit towards the mid lane because you have all the lockdown on the Lissandra. You have the cleanse from Zyko, which, yes, it can get rid of maybe a root from the Lissandra, but it does nothing against the displacement, the knock-up of the body slam. And as soon as Monkeys hits level 6, the knockback from the ultimate as well. Hidden. That little bit of wall sticking out. It's cheeky. Loses the snowball.
This is ball of post-it notes, I believe is what it is. You might look to find out Monk is here, but Zergoff is able to react faster. And use the snowball volley for the moment.
Should really be a rubber band ball, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Rubber band craft Nunu.
Although I like post-it notes, it's kind of cool. I'm glad he did it while we were on him. Making his way into this mid lane. D.Va has to use the claw away to safety. Let's use that tool now. Thank you for tracking that entirely. The game's definitely chilled a little bit since that early start.
Yeah, it's a little bit less of a wild early game than the previous one where, well, Monkeys wouldn't have had a camp to take at this point.
Yep.
The junglers are a little bit more even. They've had a little bit of presence in either of the side lanes, but nothing amounting to too much, really. The only key bit of excitement so far in the 6 minutes of gameplay is that trade 1-for-1 in top lane, but Mapillion hits 6.
He's hit 6. He's looking to go in. Zergoff also has 6. The Shuriken flip finds its mark, and Mapillion decides against committing. The lifesteal's just way too much to deal with.
The trade of ultimates, though. Wanted to try and get the play before Zergoff hit level 6 himself. But as soon as Mapillion actually dashed forwards with that perfect execution, Zergoff leveled up, got his own ultimate available, forces the Akali to back away, and it's just going to be yet another reset in the lane. But oh, 4-man bot lane.
Big snowball. Vigo does have flash and W. Reclamation jumps away. He's going to try and tank the knock-up for his team. That's going to be the knock-up. That's going to be the damage. The Beyblade's there. Reclamation flashes away. The Vanguard's edge misses its mark. Demise unable to get that kill, unable to get that play. Do force out the flash from the Nautilus.
And the heal from Fax as well, so lacking in safety on both members of the Barrage bot lane, and Eden is still hovering around. Oh, but there's a chase down onto Zyko.
Zyko's low HP as well. Has to use the cleanse. I believe D.Va used his ulti, which he did. So do force at least that out, but it's a ult for cleanse. So D.Va can walk away happy with that now, burning that summoner spell.
No level 6 from Monkeys, so he couldn't have used the explosive cask to catch back up to Zyko, and didn't have his flash available at that moment in time. It has just come back up now, so should there be any more pressure to come out from this Gragas, it can be avoided with a good reaction time from the Irelia.
Looks like the Infernal Drake is actually going to get started up here by Barrage.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes. I'm glad you agree on that fact. Hidden actually looking to see if he can spot it out. Not level 6 yet, so that Absolute Zero hasn't been hit. They are aware something's happening, and they'll be surprised how maneuverable he is, and they're looking for the fight. The claw's going to come out. Demise running in forward, gets himself the silence. The blast going away. They get the knock up on the Reclamation. He has no summoner spells, so he is going to go down as the Mercy and Justice secures that kill. Then Voxney picks it up.
Look at him go.
He's lifting the world.
Holy. Lifting Demise to 3rd place? Possibly.
Do you reckon if they win this, Eminem ban the Garen? I guess it depends
I
on the
think it's
performances.
definitely
Zyko
possible.
jumps onto D.Va, doesn't take the tower shots, just a smidge out of range. Mapillion not running the fleet footwork in this lane is starting to really feel the kind of hurt from Zergoff, as Zergoff has just infinitely more sustain with that Deathbringer stance. And it's really starting to make Mapillion's life hard.
Then Vox next. Sitting about even on CS, but that one free kill that he picked up onto the flashless Reclamation after the trade for the Infernal Drake. It's going to give him a little bit of extra push towards that point in the game. It's usually around level 12 or 13 where you really see the Garen X lanes. Usually Yuumi, but in this case, Rakan. That's where they really start to hit their peak. That additional tenacity coming out from the W, the damage from the Q, that is really where Garen starts to take over in these sort of mid-game team fights with his raw damage output and his survivability as well. And when you're against a scaling carry like Fax on the Xayah, who's probably going to need maybe 3 or 4 items to really start shredding through that as a frontliner, under the pressure from all of the dive coming out from the Akali, the Irelia, Rakan, potentially snowballs from Nunu as well. It's a rough position to be in for an AD carry player. He's going to need a lot of backup from the team, but I believe they have the tools to do it. If D.Va is on point with the Frozen Tombs, can lock down anyone trying to go for assassination attempts when it comes to these objective team fights. 10 minutes in, so the Rift Herald is about to be up on the map, so Barrage have rotated a large portion of their team, in fact 100% of it, towards this top side river, so they want to get their hands on that before Demise get a chance to take it down.
You see Voxney in the meantime is quite happily just pushing away on this side of the map. They are on top of that crab, so they know it's happening, and Zergoff taking a bit of a fight, but the Infernal Chains are going to get used, gets pulled back in. Mapillion in for a bit of hurt here. Zergoff lands himself one sweet spot knock up as Opinion has to jump away. Now they're going for the fight. That's going to be the quickness into the 3-man knockup. A massive Vanguard's edge as Demise is spinning to win. He's still alive for the moment as Zergoff flashes in forward, trying to get himself another one. Demise and Justice not enough to secure that kill. And it looks like they're chasing for more. Zyko low HP, but a big knockup comes down by Hidden as he gets himself the kill. But Hidden is still chasing. A double kill's been picked up for Zergoff on the other side of the map, and Fax unable to get himself any more. A very messy team fight.
Incredibly split as well as the engage comes in from Vigo with the quickness, the grand entrance flashing forwards to extend the range and get things kicked off with that 3-man knockup as well, followed up by the snowball of Hidden, and that just allows this dive-heavy team to get involved in the fight. Demise teleported up from the bot lane, so he was already there as the fight started, but it's enough to force Barrage away from that Rift Herald that they committed so many members of their team towards. And in the end, it is a couple of extra kills picked up for Demise, though Zergoff does split off, pick himself up a double kill on the backside, but it's that knockup from Hidden there. And then they just sort of group up and just let themselves be hit by that multi-man grand entrance. Fax dodged out of it crucially with the Blade Caller. Diva's just being chased out in the back. Everyone's just splitting up, scarpering in different directions.
The only reason that fight looked as close as it did was because the amount of feathers that got called in by Fax. He actually did so much burst damage to a grouped up Demise, which basically enabled them to not hard lose that team fight, because he did enough burst before dying to allow the likes of Zergoff to play tidy up.
Straight back to it again. Same scenario.
On a ward this time.
This time it's D.Va with the teleport in the bot side. Mapillion does not have his own, so he can't get involved without taking a long stroll across the map first.
Remember, you can still jump back in. They're looking to lock Zyko down, but they don't quite find that mark. That's going to be the knockup. The Absolute Zero is being channeled onto Fax. So much burst damage is Hidden. Is able to secure the kill. Now Vigo needs to be careful. Zyko jumps forward, finds himself a Blade Surge onto Reclamation. The feathers get cooled, but it's not enough to do too much damage. Not enough to secure the kill as Zergoff going for a fight versus Demise, and he will come out for the better from that. And this will be Rift Herald picked up by Demise.
But twice, Barrage commit towards the Rift Herald. They didn't commit the teleport from D.Va, although actually they did, but it was cancelled out. I think Akali actually died for that one as well on the opposite side of the map, so... Oh, there we go. So it's a little victory, I suppose, on the bot side for Barrage, but they do lose the Rift Herald that they've been putting so much priority towards.
How did that happen? Because D.Va doesn't have an additional kill. D.Va was on 2 kills before, I believe. If we can get a replay of that, that'd be great, because maybe I'm wrong. I'm fairly certain D.Va had 2 kills before this all happened. I'm very confused. Maybe he executed.
Well, D.Va's teleport's on cooldown, as is Mapillion's ultimate, so I'm assuming he used that to cancel
maybe
it.
he shuriken flipped and followed him.
D.Va's still bot lane?
No, yeah.
The great mystery of the...
I feel like I've definitely missed something here. The Rift Herald's going to get summoned in the mid lane. I don't actually think they're going to get any play. Sorry, in the bot lane. Oh, okay, D.Va killed him.
Yeah. Aha. Knew it the whole time.
I'm a dum-dum.
Never doubted. Overcommits a little bit to get under the tower.
What is he doing?
Forward. Just stopping the channel on the teleport, but he put too much into it, and Barrage D.Va just presses all of his buttons, says, okay.
I mean,
I'll take it.
Why would you do that? They do get
It's enough to secure the team the Rift Herald, and they do take the first tower with it in the bot lane. Plates were already down, though, at that point, so not the optimal amount of gold from it.
Zergoff takes a couple of tower shots there, but like I said, the Deathbringer stance is just so powerful. Siege in the bot lane with that Rift Herald does work out in favor of Demise as they get first turret blood, even get an Ocean Drake to boot. Now Barrage looking to just clear away these minions in the mid lane. This is that siege problems you were talking about. A lot of wave clear available to Barrage, and a lot of it's ranged as well. Makes it infinitely harder. Zyko looking to try and make some kind of a play onto Zergoff, but unable to connect with him.
The only way that Barrage can actually push these towers is if it is someone like Zergoff or D.Va in the 1v1 lanes, and Monkiz is able to get involved and at least force their opposition out of lane first, and then they can... I'm looking at the wrong team. If Hidden can put some pressure in the 1v1s, force their opponent out of lane, but that Deathbringer stance, Zergoff is so difficult to shove out of lane. Sandra, well, a tower's already gone, but they've seen exactly how difficult it can be to actually dive that.
Diving on a Sandra is not a good
It's
idea.
just slamming their face into this mid lane tower over and over again. They're taking maybe 400 damage off it. It's going to be a while before that goes down.
They're still pretty scary, though. And Barrage are aware of that, so they do step back and wait for the wave to crash into the tower before they go for the clear. They don't want to overextend. They know that Vigo can hard engage with the quickness, with that flash available. And then Voxney now level 9 to be able to follow up with pretty much relative comfort. But still, the power of this range is going to be probably one of the deciding things here for Barrage if they're able to pull this in their favor, as the gold currently still sits in Demise's favor. 2,000 ahead. Napoleon now should actually feel a little bit more comfortably to go for a fight versus D.Va, but gets caught out by the ulti. A lot of life steal. Tries to follow him up, but doesn't get any more. D.Va locks him in place with a good W and claws away.
A lot of vision on the map as well for Demise, with wards being littered all over the Barrage jungle. So, yes, they are struggling to shove in these lanes into the mid lane specifically, as Fax is able just to sit there and wave clear pretty comfortably, but they know that at least if Monkeys tries to get around the back and make an engage happen, they'll see him coming from a good distance away. A couple of the wards have just timed out, though, as they place down some more towards the top side of the map. So potentially going to be putting a little more focus onto Zyko in the top lane, looking to force D.Va out of that lane now that the ultimate is down, try and pressure that top lane turret. I think this is where the lack of Yuumi in this lane really is starting to show, because that long-range poke is exactly why you needed it in these siege scenarios.
Zergoff tries to catch him out, gets the Infernal Chains down, lands only one of those sweet spots, but does so much damage to him, and Zergoff might just feel comfortable to chase it. Pops himself the World Ender. They're chasing. Hidden's low. Hidden has to flash away. Uses the ulti. Monkeys gets taken down, and now Mapillion feels comfortable to go in. Shuriken flip does connect, and the World Ender is worn off. He might follow up. Uses the perfect execution back to safety. Not going to go for the fight.
This is the exact opposite of what we needed to see. Barrage bring their jungler down. Zergoth goes in for the 2v1, and Monkeys just gets locked up under the tower. Taken down by the Akali, and now Hidden's free to put some more pressure onto Zergoth.
They're jumping in. They're trying to land those knockups. That's going to be a snowball going a little bit too wide. Zergoth, super hard to deal with, and wow, he's got the Death Dance as well. Exceptionally hard to lock down as Zyko looks just to go for a slight trade versus D.Va. The Aftershock makes it quite hard, and D.Va's pretty comfortable. Zyko does still have flash and himself a cleanse, so shouldn't really be falling quite yet.
Why still struggling to put any sort of damage down on these towers?
You need a Morella Nomicon to deal with Zergoff.
They picked up the one, but yeah.
I think once that Morello's comes through, this lane gets easier for Mapillion, but I don't actually feel like it's ever a point at this stage where he's going to be able to deal with him, even though he has got one kill in his pocket. Zergoff 2-0 on this Aatrox with the Hex Drinker and the Death Stance. He's so hard to deal with. He's got so much cooldown reduction as well. That Kindle gem in his pocket. I just struggle to see without Den Voxney and, you know, his villain being Zergoff, how they can kill him. Teleporting into the mid lane here. They might actually be going for a bit of a siege onto this turret. Do have himself the ability to go for that. D.Va jumps in forward. Does need to be a little bit careful, but melee. You can't poke from a distance. You have to be right in there, right in that tower.
Looking to just rush down the tower as Barrage was going for the reset. It does draw out the teleport of D.Va, so we can't have that same scenario again of Mapillion diving under the tower to try and cancel it out to equalize the cross-map play. So Mapillion could just try and find the matchup against D.Va in the side lane and just keep pushing that back out and have some impact with the teleport play across the map. Both neutral objectives are back up on the map within 20 seconds of right now. So there's options for Demise to draw Barrage away from the safety of their towers and get a fight started on their own terms. And this could be one as Hidden's coming in.
That's a big knock-up. Only lands onto one, though. The snowball not quite big enough. Voxney taking some serious damage here from Fax. Off his HP. We'll be able to recover some of that in a second, though. Due to that passive, they should be okay. That level 13 was the point you were talking about, the additional tenacity. Now he's got the cleaver. They're just running straight towards Baron here. Maybe they're going to go for this.
Bold choice when you don't have one of those consistent DPS traditional AD carries.
They do a lot to it, but they do just step away. Limit testing is what they're doing there.
Sure, sure.
Maybe trying to force a teleport or two. Well, there's only one available.
Going for the Barrage-esque play of just bringing your team towards the Baron pit. Well, Barrage just capitalize on it and say, okay, we forced you off the Baron back into your own jungle. We'll take the mid lane tower, no problem whatsoever. And that top lane tower has been sat on a precariously low amount of health for a while as well. And now D.Va's just going to head up there, shove this wave back in. And Pillion, he can't push to this tower through the Lissandra. We've already seen what happens when he tries to get too close to a Lissandra under his own tower. So that's just a stalemate really in the top lane to add to this stalemate in the mid lane. And that big rush down with 4 members, it took maybe 1,000 health off the mid lane tower, but since then it's just not taken any damage whatsoever.
And I want to talk a little bit about the stakes of this game, because we talked about it at the beginning, but you got to remember the Demise are playing for third here. And Barrage are playing to stay alive. They're on 1 point. This does not look like a third versus last team. The gold, yes, is in favor of Demise, but it's minimal. Because of the comp they've drafted, they're actually unable to siege and take towers to extend this gold lead. Because if they had a traditional bot lane, I feel like they would have been able to take so many more towers in this time. They would have been so much more comfortable in this time. But then Voxnate just looking to take away this ward here for the moment, as finally a turret will crumble in that top side. But the mid lane is still being a point that Demise can't seem to siege, can't seem to break. And they need to be able to take it if they want to be able to close out this game.
Someone needs to answer Zergoth in the bot lane as well, as he's just shoving that wave down. And Hidon is the choice to go down and clean up that wave. There's 4 members of Demise potentially collapsing on his position. He gets out for free, hops over the dragon wall. Now it could be the time to set up for these fights around the neutral objectives, because that is where Demise is going to need to find these fights where they can force Barrage away from that refuge of being under their tower that's so difficult for Demise to get into.
And then Moxie does take a little bit of hope there, but Gleaming Quill and his passive means he's nice and safe. He also has an Ocean Drake, and this next Drake is also an Ocean, so if Demise can get that, he doesn't even need a Warmog, he just has a Warmog
He
at that
just
point.
is a Warmog at that point. He is Warmog, the guy who's armoring.
Who is Warmog?
I don't know. There's a lot.
Do you reckon we'll see him as a character mentioned in the lore? Do you reckon he's been mentioned in the lore and I'm just being super ignorant?
I mean, he could be. It could be one of those like Athene's or Shirelia's situations. It could be some actual real life person.
Athene's was the WoW player, right?
Yeah.
I should know that. I play WoW as Vingo lands himself the charm. That's the Vanguard's edge. Fact uses his Feather Storm. Cask comes out early and in comes Mapillion. He's trying to go for the fight. The depth charge will knock him up. Can clear that wall though if he wants to. Jumps away. Now you see Zergoth in the mists of free being chunked down. He's solo. Demacian Justice doesn't secure the kill. He's healing up. They get a shutdown onto Zyko. And Barrage are running through Demise. Then Voxney runs away. Hidden. Trying to get his way out. He does not have his absolute zero. He does not have the capability to escape. As I say that, he escapes.
Man. Both top laners just 1v4ing on separate sides of the river there. Buying enough time if you're Zergoth with the ultimate, that increased self-healing for the rest of the team to collapse and turn it around to pick up a couple of freebie kills and turn their attention to this Baron.
Hidden needs to go for the hero play. The claw over the wall, not going to be enough here for the moment. They jump in, that's the turret going down. A kill has been picked up onto Garrett. Hidden jumps over the wall. He has the ability to steal it. He takes it away. Hidden even tries to get a kill on the way out. Not enough, but what a play. Coming down by Hidden, saving the day for Demise.
And Monkiz, the Baron securing mastermind, is outdone by the Nunu
It's
of
a
Hidden.
Nunu.
What?
Why would you even attempt a Baron if a Nunu's about? You can't beat that. The claw missed. It didn't work. They just let Hidden come in. It was just a massive disrespect play by Barrage.
Zergoth hopped over the wall to try and cancel out the dash, but it just wasn't enough. As that is that they were drawn away from their tower. They were got into the jungle entrances. That is exactly where Demise would have needed to take this fight, but the split up, the immediate just retreat to the safety of the rest of their team was enough for Barrage to buy enough time to keep Fax alive in the back of this, as Zergoth just teleported in on the opposite side and did the exact same thing as Mapillion. 1 versus 4ing, except he's the Aatrox. He didn't need to dash away out of that scenario. He could just sit there and absorb the damage and buy enough time for the rest of his team to get involved and clean up the members of the fight. But Hidden, he finds the route. It's all in vision. They know exactly where he is. And Zergoth hopping over the wall there. He tried to get the cancel on the Hidden's flash and just make sure that he wasn't able to get involved. But get involved he did, stealing the Baron away from the Baron Steel Mastermind. And this Baron...
Oh, I just actually had a little... update from our northerner friend there, Orcs. It's quite hard to understand him sometimes.
He's more northern than I am.
He's Newcastle. That's almost as north as it gets without going to Scotland. Munkid smited early to heal, so he didn't have smite. So there was no way they were going to get that. And now Vigo is going to get caught out by a hook, but the World Ender is just burning low, and I don't think they're going to be able to get a kill. So no reset. Zergoth just uses his ulti for free. Don't burn any summoner spells. Don't burn anything else.
Easy to back away. And Demise having that Baron buff. Maybe that's exactly what they need with that lack of siege potential that they have drafted in their comp. I mean, if you don't have any ranged champions, Mapillion, just stand next to this cannon minion and let that be the ranged minion that can hit the tower instead.
And Voxney takes a hook here. Level 13 there. That's that tenacity point you were talking about. And we are moving into late game Garen, where it starts to get even scarier.
Still didn't quite have enough damage to execute Zergoth in that team fight with the Demacian Justice.
I think he healed as it came down.
Yeah,
I think it was a guaranteed kill, but then he healed.
Yeah, guaranteed. Nice.
I don't have the energy for it.
Thank goodness we've got a slower paced game. 7 kills to 8. There's only 3k gold separating these teams as we head into the 28th minute of gameplay. It's definitely not been the fastest pace that we've seen today. It's definitely not been the most one-sided that we've seen today. And it hasn't really fit in with today's storylines of the day of the early game plays. This has been a lot more about slow pushing in minion waves and controlling the side waves. And Baron steals.
I just worry that Zergoth is in a point where Demise can't deal with him. I mean, you wouldn't worry that if you're a Barrage fan, but what did Demise actually do? I don't feel like they have many ways to deal with him. They now have the Morello Nomicon finished up on Mapillion, so they do have something to cut him down. Then Voxney now has Asterix as well, so he's fairly tanky. He's going to be really hard to kill himself, but with the GA, it feels like they're going to have to invest so much to kill Zergoth. But Fax is just going to be able to free fire for the rest of the fight. He's got the Infinity Edge. He's got the Essence Reaver. Once that Zeolite comes through, Fax is going to be just machine gunning feathers into Demise.
Who's really going to be able to stop them if you can't find the perfect engage from Vigo? He's got the Shirelia's Revelry to make sure that he can get involved and get to that backline as quick as possible and just enable the dive of the Irelia and the Akali onto Fax in the backline. But you have the tools. You have Diva who can just press R, press W, cancel out that aggression.
Psycho does a lot of damage to Diva. Now that Snowball coming in, they find their mark. He has ulti, but it doesn't matter. Hidden secures the kill. And this should just be the turret for Demise.
I did say earlier that he needs to be on point with the Frozen Tombs. Not quite so much there, as cooldowns are not even used. And that's one way for Demise to pick up turrets, is just collapse with 4 members, kill off Diva, who's defending the tower, and then pick it up. So they have some options at this point, as long as they can get a kill or 2 before they start pushing the towers, and it's not just going to be this permanent wave clear game. As Mapillion still just sat in the top lane, just shoving in the 1 versus 0, and no one's really answering that. It's another way that they can try and look for some advantages, as well, they're just steamrolling down the mid lane now.
And Voxney tanks the tower as well there to make sure that not too many minions die out. But now there's a bit of a collapse coming in by Barrage. Not actually able to commit for a kill or anything like that.
Time for a Demise just to back away.
You can spend that gold from the Baron. Oh, no, Hidden. Does have flash. Will just lose his life, but he has got the absolute zero. Hasn't used it quite yet. Now he's challenging it. Slows everyone down. A bit of a fight breaking out. Zergoff's into the fray. Vigo jumps away and a shutdown's picked up by Fax. Vigo jumps out with Zergoff hot on his heels, looking to turn him down with Infernal Chains, and that is Zergoff getting a kill. 2 for Barrage. Demise just basing in greedy locations.
And immediately after that, pings coming out onto Baron. I feel like we've been in this scenario before, but this time, Hidden was just forced to use his flash in the fight. So even if he were able to get in a position around the back of the Baron pit, which he will not be able to, he's forced to go back to base. There was no chance that he could flash in and make the steal happen for a second time in this game. So this time, Barrage winning the team fight, turning their attention onto the Baron. This time it will be enough for them to secure it. No contest from Demise.
This is the power of Zergoff as well. They have just no way to deal with him currently. Then Voxney on this Garen. Level 14 now. 4 levels behind Zergoff, the hyper carry. Currently on Barrage. I've still got a gold lead.
That's crazy.
You
that
what?
is a huge Aatrox. Level 18.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You what? You what, mate? It's definitely been one of those days, hasn't it?
What gave that away?
I don't know. What do you think? And then Voxney is going to struggle to clear out these minion waves. A hook lands onto the tower, but you can see that the snowball has been started and they're trying to find it. And knockup does connect onto Reclamation. They're cutting him down. Vigo jumps into the backline. The quickness charms down too. Absolute zero does not land onto anyone. Mapillion is looking for the assassination on the Fax. They have to find their moment. They get their moment. D.Va jumps in, tries to get himself an ulti, but he gets the Zhonya's off in time, the Vanguard's edge, the knockups, everything is used onto D.Va as he ults himself, just buying time. Zergoff's on the flank. Now Barrage are in for a world of trouble. Can they get the damage onto Demise members? That's going to be a Demacian Justice to secure 1. And now they're just looking to run away. The healing might just be enough. It looks like they're going to sacrifice Hidden. He gets himself a knockup, then Voxney healing up. And Demise just have to make their way out. They force out Zergoff's teleport. That is it.
Vigo. Just about getting himself out of that dangerous scenario. Zergoff wasn't able to get a reset.
Then Voxney?
Fight.
That's the Infernal Chains, but he's got the Q movement speed to get out. Baron minions, there's a lot of them, and then Voxney somehow has to clear out this entire wave just by doing a Beyblade.
Yeah, this is that difference where you don't have any sort of ranged wave clear or just wave clear in general. Actually, he's not taking too much damage from this Aatrox.
He's pretty tanky still, and he's got a lot of life still. Oh, sorry, a lot of sustain. But they are just trying to time out this Baron. There's a little bit left on it here for the moment. The base is going to come through by Barrage. He's up the last of this. And what are the win conditions for Demise? Because they just can't team fight at the moment. They have to find these picks. But how do they win this game?
It started off really well in that team fight, actually, as Mapillion teleported onto the backline and assassinated Fax before he could have much impact in the fight overall, and that left Barrage in a much weaker position, especially that considered that Zergoff and Monkeys were both not involved in the fight towards the bot side. If they were able to clean up the other kills earlier in that fight and potentially just walk down towards the mid lane inhibitor, then that could have been all it took to start knocking down inhibitors and getting those super minions in their favor, and that would definitely do a lot of work for them in this lack of siege scenario that they actually have at the moment. But just need to finish off these kills a little bit quicker when they find the scenarios for it to happen. And Mapillion, it was a great teleport, and he was able to take out Fax. Just need to keep on top of that and make sure that that damage threat just isn't there present in these fights.
Well, the GA has been picked up onto Zyko. Mapillion might just be on the receiving end of a gank. The Claw comes forward. He uses himself the Veil to go gold, to stay alive as long as possible. Jumps out. The belly bop doesn't land. He gets himself a shuriken flip. Jumps in. Oh, what an assassination! 1v4 Mapillion gets it. He will go down as Fax takes him out, but what a turnaround. Meanwhile, Zergoff is getting jumped onto. Globally, this will be a 2-for-2 in favor of Demise. Can they do anything to turn it around? No, they can't. The shutdown has been picked up by Zyko. The bases are being channeled, but Barrage are going to be able to take some turrets here.
Oh, man. Both top laners once again 1v4ing, mirroring what we had earlier on in the game where Zergoff survived that extra bit longer. This time he does not have such luck. And even though he has the GA, gets popped down by the 4 members strong of Demise. And that could be exactly what they're looking for to allow them to have a little bit more pressure in these side lanes, as both of them, in fact, every lane really for Demise. There's only 1 turret left, and that's up in the top side, the inner turret. Mirrored on the map for Barrage, there's only the bottom inner turret left to take for themselves. But when we consider the draft, and that we've said many times that this Demise squad doesn't really have the tools to take down these towers in the majority of scenarios, keeping up in terms of like just the towers and the objective gold is definitely kind of worrying if you're Barrage. You think this probably shouldn't be happening.
And they still have the gold lead as well. It's quite comfortably in their favor. Barrage with one big team fight could try and turn that around. And you got to keep in mind, a massive part of what Barrage are using to stay relevant in gold is sitting on their top lane. There's a 3,000 gold there already, just in the top lane, and now it looks like he might just be getting caught once again. The Redemption is going to get used to heal him up. That's the teleport, the flash in. Mapillion jumps down, and Zergoff is taken out. D.Va now has to try and find something onto Mapillion, onto D.Va. They don't quite find that knock-up, but in goes Vigo. A 2-man knock-up's there. That's going to be a cost to send Vigo packing. Then Boxy in the middle of the fight, but in comes Hidden. He has the absolute 0. Look at the pop. Look at the damage. It's actually a little underwhelming, but a Demacian Justice will secure the kill. Beyblade has been summoned. The team fight goes in favor of Demise, and now they can try and crack the base.
Well, what wasn't underwhelming was the positioning of the Nunu as he comes from behind, completely locking off the escape route.
Monkeys has to flash away. Zyko tries to see if he can get some damage onto him, tries to see if he can get that kill. Unable to do so, but the inhibitor will be cracked. Still got a little bit of time until Zergoff's alive, till the rest of the team's alive. And Monkeys might just be in for her. He gets taken down. The aces here. Barrage might just lose here. Demise have managed to find their opening to take the win, to take the game. It wasn't quick, but at 37 minutes, Barrage fall down and Demise get themselves a win. And they are not out of running for 3rd in the groups.
It's not exactly the clean gameplay we were hoping to see from Demise, but it's something new, something special, something strange. A little bit of what we were we're hoping to see. The Garen makes a reappearance. We asked for it, we got it. It's the Garen Yuumi in separate games, but it still counts. Sure, why not? We said that in able to really push in and take some of these base towers, those objectives, they were going to need to find some picks. Well, if you find 4 and then kill the Gragas in the base, that'll probably do it. And that's enough for them to take the game.
That was a fantastic game by Demise. I mean, I genuinely worried. I thought Zergoff was too fed. I thought they just didn't have the ability to siege, and didn't matter. They just found a few picks, and I asked you, how do they win? Turns out you get a quick pick, and then you turn it into a skirmish, into a 4v5, and
kill Zergoff twice.
If you team fight without Zergoff there, it actually turns out Barrage weren't as strong as we thought.
And they caught Fax in a really awkward spot as well, as they were trying to retreat into the jungle, and Hidden coming from behind with the snowball, just completely blocking off the escape route. And that absolute 0, it didn't do as much damage.
Did absolutely 0 damage, but it did a lot.
But the slow was really what was crucial in that team fight. It was enough to make sure that none of the members of Barrage who were in that sort of bunched up scenario could have escaped the incoming damage from the Akali and the Irelia as well. So yeah, that was all it took, was just that one fight where they pick up the 4 members that are caught off Zergoff in a bad position to start it off, and then as the rest of the Barrage squad comes to try and help him out, collapsing on them in the jungle, it's getting them away from those towers.
Yeah.
You can't use them for safety.
It's got to feel so nice if you're Mapillion, because you spent that entire game getting completely destroyed in. So scared of Zergoff to then kill him, and then his death is what led into the snowball, the team fight win for them.
He was really playing PvE for most of that game, just sat by himself in the top side.
It turns out he was a rogue in the shadows all along. Let's have a little look at our bracket to see how tomorrow's games will be shaping out and who's going to be playing who. So we'll be starting the day off tomorrow with XL versus Enclave in our first semi-final, and then it'll be the battle of 3rd, Demise versus M&M. Winner of this secures themselves 3rd, I believe. I need to double check points, but I think that's what does it. That'd be massive. That is so cool that our 2 teams fighting for 3rd are going head to head. And also, it's so fun to see Enclave versus XL, because Enclave, I believe, beat XL to make finals in 4G Champions. No, they didn't. Sorry, they lost to a Misfits. I'm stupid. Finals were Misfits versus Diabolus.
On the plus side,
But
the return of Rifty.
That's what I was going to say.
We've had Sendo as this. Oh, is he the best? Is it Shikari? Is he the best?
This is his chance to prove himself.
Guess who showed back up again? It's Rifty back on the scene. And if he can start taking over that top lane in the same way that he did in today's matches against Sendo, that will definitely solidify him as the sort of premier, at least top 2 top laner in the UKLC. And he's coming this late, and to having a performance like he had today, if he's able to repeat that tomorrow, could mean some good things for Enclave.
it was worse as a rookie. Now he's got to play another veteran in the likes of Sendo, you know, someone who has always been hot on his heels as well. It's like we've always had those tier lists, and it was always Rifty and Shikari at the top, and then Sendo just below. Sometimes in some people's S lists, but he was always a hot point of contention. So I'm really excited to see how those two fare up against each other, as Rifty hasn't not been practicing. He's been playing in other regions as well in this off time. So it's not like he's just not been playing for the last year. He's been off playing. And we actually have our MVP for the last game is hidden coming out from the side of Demise. This guy, look good on his Nunu, keeping that 100% win rate going.
Yeah, he had a great game as well, and I'm actually really excited for tomorrow's second matchup as well between Eminem and Demise, because we saw Nolty have a great jungle game today as well. So if both of these junglers can bring the form that they had today, it's completely different styles by all means, but if Hidden can hop in, stealing away Barons, just like Nolty was stealing away just about every camp on the map.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have a real spicy match.
I actually have a little update on the point standing. So Demise have to win versus Eminem, and then they have to win the finals. Not the tower finals, just the finals to secure third. So they actually have to be either Enclave or XL and Eminem tomorrow. So it's actually quite a tall ask for them, but it isn't out of the realms of possibility. I hope to see, you know, maybe someone new kind of rising up. Eminem have been looking pretty good, but have a little look at our predictions, because I've been smurfing it today. Oh.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I'm sticking with my never vote for the same team on the top of the tower, which is just absolutely rocked it. Don't worry, Dan. You've actually only got one wrong today. Is this the highest? Is this the highest Dan has ever scored, like, on a regular week? Because I don't think he's ever gone this well for him.
Yeah, I think tomorrow you can probably change that statement of you've only got one wrong, because with the XL game.
Yeah, we know what we're talking about. Although you're tanking it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, no, because I actually did kind of ruin it, because me and Munchables, we had a strategy of 1 point per week. I got 2 this week, so I've ruined that one. But hey, Chronicler would have had 100%, so we've got that going for us. That's good to know.
I'm sorry, Chronicler. This man here is ruining your legacy. Now, guys, if you want to watch any of the previous videos with our man Chronicler, or any of the other shows from this split or previous splits, you can head over to our YouTube channel, LVP UK LOL, where you can catch up on all of the previous action that's been going on, Hitbrain's hot takes, our top 5 plays, some of our patch notes videos, loads going on over there. And if you want to get involved in the conversation, head over to our YouTube channel, LVP UK LOL, and use that hashtag UKLC.
Did you mean Twitter? You said YouTube.
Twitter. What did I say?
You said YouTube.
YouTube. Head over to hashtag Twitter and get on the conversation. UKLC. Make sure that you tweet at me with your suggestions of what you want me to draw for Hitbrain's fridge art, because like I said, I'm running out of ideas. I'd like it to be movie focused, ideally. And something kind of obviously movie focused, and we'll see what I can do. But tweet at me, Hitbrain, and using that hashtag UKLC, and you can give me suggestions. And if I like them, if I think I'm capable of doing them, if I think you're worthy of your suggestions being done, I'll do them. But they have to be team focused as well. So pick a matchup, and we'll go from there.
Got some good matchups to choose from tomorrow, so make them count.
Make them count, guys. Thank you very much for watching here for day 1 of week 6 of the UKLC. We'll be back tomorrow with our semi-finals. So until then, we'll see you later. Tiddly poo.